Hello. We'll give it a couple of minutes so people have time to be here if they're showing up. Honestly, I was supposed to, like, my time says I'm supposed to start about an hour from now, but actually, I got a little dyslexic and it was supposed to be like 3:35, and then apparently it's like 4:35 that I thought I was supposed to be starting. I got the numbers mixed up. I need a secretary and adult supervision. Hey, Tommy. I know we've been over this. Your name's Gaelic. Damn it. God, you told me how to pronounce that. I screwed it up. I'm not good at learning. Hi, Wookie. How are you? Thomas! Or, yeah, Thomas. Because there's a Tommy and a Thomas. I gotta keep them sorted. Anyway, I'll give it a couple of more minutes. I doubt, since there's other streams going on and I didn't really realize they would start this early because I don't pay attention. Like, I probably won't be. Do you say the last? Yeah, because I remember there was something about the O sounding like a V. Or no, an F, maybe. Yeah, yeah, I screwed it up. Hi, Peanut Butter, how are you? I feel bad because I remember, and I was like kind of close to getting it, and now I just like I started all over. Great talk. Oh yeah, it's what the hell was I going to say? It's just do not disturb. It was like one of the first ones I grabbed out of the drawer. I didn't want anyone to know I was wearing the same shirt for like a day and a half. You know how you don't have anywhere to go, so like nobody's gonna know you wore that shirt already. But yeah. Glad to see y'all here. Whether I have 5 people or 15, I'm always glad for the people I've got. That, and I'm so bad at scheduling anything that's solid for anyone to count on. Can't really be mad if people don't show. Say it. I'll give everybody a second. I'm really bad. Like sometimes I'll repeat myself, but sometimes I don't. So I'm not necessarily good at. Bob, be quiet. Sorry, my cat is very loud and obnoxious in the hallway. So it's got a very distracting meow. Anywho, give it a few more minutes. So how are you guys? How are y'all all doing? Good, I hope. I probably won't be on long because I probably don't have as much to talk about this as I have actually been thinking about it. Like I've been thinking about this for like 3 or 4 days. This stuff I've found. I've been like trying to keep up with the news on it because Bob, I'm sorry. Would you excuse me a minute? All right, I'm sorry. The cat has absolutely no boundaries, doesn't care that I'm doing anything, does not matter. I just guess I should be. I didn't know the O was pronounced like an O. I thought, you know what? It's 2:20, it's close enough to 4:20. The people I know, apparently 4:20 can be any time. Anywho, sorry about that. But yeah, I've been trying to keep up with news articles. Now, it's a little hard to do since the majority of the time, like, we all at some time or another can agree that we can't really trust the news and what it tells us. But sometimes it's really all we have to go on because, for one, I'm not over there. And two, I kind of don't want to be. Almost anything else that's in the news, I'd be willing to go up for. But this, I'm too much a germaphobe to deal with this shit. I got this killer strain called Nightmare Cookies. I've never heard of I've heard of Girl Scout cookies, but never nightmare cookies. That sounds like this sounds like some shit that gave you anxiety or something. I get them mixed up. There's like a indica and a sativa, and I can't remember which one does what. Like one kind of can make you paranoid, and the other one not. I don't know enough about it. So in my day, regular weed was regular ditch weed. Now they got all this fancy designer shit. I'm like, they didn't have this shit when I was 16. Just saying, weed was weed back in my day. My cigarette's trying to die on me. Like, no, they're too short for me to relight. We got to finish this. But in the couch. Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, is that the one that can make you paranoid, or is that like because I can't remember. But unfortunately, I think I have a THC sensitivity. So as far as I know, pretty much all the ones like will give me anxiety. Now, technically, it could be just that I had my first anxiety attack while I was stoned. That will put you off weed. Man, that started about 2.5 years of needing Klonopin. That's what I get. Oh, indicate. Fair enough. Well, everybody has a different way. Like one kind will work for one person and one kind will work for another. Take a puff for me. Oh, well, I don't smoke, so. But I hope you get some green. Oh, we were talking to Whoopi. I'm sorry. It probably helped if I read not just what was said, but actually who wrote it. Anyway, okay. So it looks like we're going to pretty much have 5 people. Okay. Well, all right. Okay. So I don't know if y'all have been keeping track of this. Well, I guess it's a coronavirus. I think it's a tomato thing. So I think they pronounce it a little different, but it's so from around here that was spelled corona. Cloud passed in front of the sun, so I got all dark in here. Hell 420. Okay. Hey, Cody. How are you? Hi. 101, baby. I had to get a little close for my eyesight. Kind of burn the flower in ages. It's been concentrates for me. Man, I've had concentrates, and dang, it tastes cleaner, but man, it gets the job done awful fast. I'm one of those people, even when I drank, I kind of didn't want to be like drunk immediately. You kind of want, it's part of the journey is getting there. Like, I don't know. There could be 2 cases in Scotland. Yes, I have heard that. I was going to get to that and see if any of your local news is actually talking about it. I mean, apparently it is. But anyway, the coronavirus. I'm going to get to that. That's an interesting thing. In case I don't know if you've heard, but for on and off for a long time in China, they had what's called SARS. See, severe acute respiratory syndrome, I believe is what SARS stands for. It's basically like really nasty pneumonia. I mean, some bad shit, and we are screwed. Not necessarily, maybe, but not necessarily, because I think there's just under 20 that have died. There's about 100 potentially infected, and if you consider how highly populated it is, the percentage is actually not very high. It's still bad, and it could potentially get worse. But percentage-wise, it's actually like less than a fraction, dang near, of the population. And so, and they've actually locked down, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right, Wuhan, I think. It's a town or a city with 11 million people approximately, and they have it locked down. That's a major undertaking to lock down a place that freaking big. Holy shit. But yes, it's basically an offshoot or I guess lack of a better term, mutation of SARS. So there's like some killer pneumonia running around. That's what the news has been broadcasting. Yeah. Dad's your mom. Sorry, I just looked up a little higher. Yeah, well, no, it could be a scare tactic. Now, it would be bad if they underrepresented it and told people everything was fine and people got sick. So it is better safe than sorry, don't get me wrong. But I found some stuff that was weird. Okay, so I may have to screen share that. Oh, might have helped if I hadn't closed my Twitter down. I was going to screen share because I was watching the conference last night from the World Health Organization, and I was listening to what they were saying. Thankfully, they were speaking English, so I didn't have to worry about the translator being wrong about what the person was saying. So a couple of things they said kind of found strange because I found some paperwork on this virus, oddly enough. And so the people in the press conference were talking about it being a new virus. They were talking about what great work the labs have done to get it sequenced, basically get it mapped out, its blueprint of what makes it tick, is basically what it means when you sequence a virus or a genome or whatever. You're basically getting the layout of what it is. And they were talking about how they got it sequenced very quickly, and they're already working on medicine. But there's something really odd about them saying that. I'm back on Twitter again. Oh, people seem to get suspended from Twitter a lot. I think I'm like one of the few that don't. Of course, I usually when there's a ruckus going on, I stay out of it. So, yeah. But, to each his own. But I'm glad you're back. But anyway, they were talking about how they got this virus sequenced very quickly. And some stuff about that kind of didn't sit right. Because this virus isn't new. That's the strange part about this. Everybody's going on about being a new virus and this and that. I can actually prove it's not. So I don't know why they said that. I don't know why they're bragging that they got it sequenced so quickly. They've had about 15 years, they've had about 15 years to get it mapped. Hey, Wes Moody, how are you? Can only stay for a second. Well, we're glad to have you all the same. So, yeah, let me go to screen share. It's going to look weird for a minute. It's going to have that whole tunnel thing kind of going. And there we go. Share. All right, so there we go. All right, so I will try to make this as big as I can. Thank you, Wes. You're a sweetie. But I was afraid to do this because I think I'm going to look crazy, but I wouldn't say this stuff if I didn't have some kind of proof. But like I said, I find it strange that they're saying they got the virus sequenced so quickly. According to this, the CDC has had this virus since 2003, I think. Let me go up and find it. Dadgummit. My mouse does not like me, I'm sorry. All right. So this is the coronavirus isolated. I do believe this is a patent for the process of mapping or isolating parts of the virus. There's the patent number for it, issued to the United States by the CDC and Department of Health and Human Services. That's the current signee. These are the inventors. So so this is not a new virus. So them going around saying that it is. See, property to the patent. Yeah, so application was done in 2003. So this is not a new virus. So them going around bragging that they got things done so quickly to start working on a cure is silliness. They've had 15 years or more to do it. I don't know why they are acting like this is new. It's not. This stuff is open to the public for people to see. So I find it just kind of weird that they would phrase it that way. And here's something else I noticed. January 22nd, 2020. That was yesterday. Application status expired. And this all started, a month ago? So I don't know. I'm not really sure what's going on, but it just seems weird that they're, like I said, claiming it's a new virus and they got it sequenced so quickly. All provided are the nucleic acid sequence of SARS-CoV, which is, I guess, short for coronavirus. And I'm assuming they've had this sequenced and mapped out for a long time. So, hold on. Oh, well, I hope you have a nice day at work. And we're glad you came by. None of our governments can be trusted. But I'm not exactly sure. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not sure why they would, you know, I would only these things are testing grounds for more deadly viruses to track and to spread. My inner conspiracy theorist. That's fair. If this was a movie, we'd be like, oh yeah, this is going on, this is going on. All right, we know who the bad guys are. But in real life, you can't. People would think you're nuts if you were to even suggest that there's some kind of treasonous behavior to go on. You know, and I'm not saying there is. I'm just like I said, it just seems weird that they're like, we have a new virus, but thankfully we've got a sequence for the time. You've had almost 20 years. I sure hope you've got it figured out by now. But this stuff is like public information, and someone on Facebook actually pointed me in the direction of this because they were talking about it, and I was like, so I clicked on the link she had up, and I was like, oh shit. It's hard to argue with the patent number. But hold on, I think they pulled the same crap with H1N1. Possibly, like I didn't see, I didn't look. I guess this kind of the patent number for this just kind of fell in my lap. It's not impossible, I suppose. If you look up what the Tuskegee Airmen went through during the experiment, it doesn't necessarily look good for America. And yeah. It did seem strange because there's been Ebola outbreaks on and off for 40 years, 40 or 50 years. So yeah, as soon as it did hit U.S. Coastline, damn near, they were quick with it. I'll give it that. That did seem strange that suddenly after 40 or 50 years they managed to pull that out of their ass so quickly. It does look suspicious. It does. Can't lie. I just hate to think that someone, you know, what good does it do to lie? Just be like, yeah, this virus, it popped up quite some time back. We've had a chance to work on it. So, if that's how it went, why not just say that? This is public information. In fact, just in case y'all want it for whatever reason, hold on. Just so you can tell you, like, your friends and family or whatever. That way you can look at it yourself. But yeah, it just seems kind of odd. So it's not. I don't know if it's engineered or not. I don't know. I don't have a microscope. I sure as hell don't want a sample of the virus to find out. I'm not quite that hard-headed. But I don't know. I don't know. It just seems a little strange, suspicious, I guess. Aw, well, we're glad you came by. Thank you. Mwah. I have ammonia. Well, make sure that you use it in a ventilated area. How are you doing, Jesse? Unhighlight that. So yeah, I don't know. It's been patented, the isolating process. You can't really have the patent on an isolating process for a virus if you don't have it sequenced and mapped out. Because you have to, for isolating, I think it's taking out little pieces of the virus for testing or doing this. And you can't do that unless you've got the whole thing mapped out, pretty much, I would assume. Flu-like symptoms. Could be anything. Yeah, shit, it could just be allergens in the air. It could be lots of stuff to make you feel like, you know, your lungs are getting all crappy. Oh, okay. Pneumonia. Sorry, I was like, ammonia. What? Yeah. You're probably okay. Probably. I hope. Even though it doesn't necessarily smell or taste very good, like anytime I've had like bronchial issues or something, like cold or whatever, I try having raw garlic. Alright, hold on. I've met some people who think the word conspiracy theory means false or fake. Yeah, they actually do. Conspiracy means more than one person thinking or planning or working towards something. And theory is, well, like what it is. It's a theory. It's a possibility. It's a scenario, a hypothetical. It's a whatever. Yeah, because just because something is conspiracy theory, it just means that you theorize that conspiracy, like more than one person has gotten together to plan some shit. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean false or fake. I've noticed that people will often use it in a sentence as though that's exactly what it means. And actually, I do believe that in the, what was it, like the 60s or 70s, I read that the CIA coined that phrase to make people feel like they were crazy. And so, yeah, as long as someone's shit isn't too far out, I'll listen to their conspiracy theories because sometimes it doesn't hurt to think outside the box. Hey, Biden Touch, how are you? Technically, we're doing that right now. Right, exactly. So it is like, it doesn't mean that we're wrong or that we're right. It's just bouncing ideas off each other and like, could be this, could be that. Okay, maybe it's not this, but why are you saying this when this right here says something different? Because I just find that kind of an odd inconsistency to it. I don't trust much of anybody, quite frankly. I was kind of raised that way. My roommates were making awful noise. It sounds like a seal is coughing up weed. Pothead. It's been the use of the word by the media that makes the weak-minded assume that that's what it means. Yeah, I've noticed that because I don't even, I don't even remember. I think I was talking about the Kennedy assassination or something. I don't remember what it was. It's been years. But someone goes, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist." I'm like, "Do you believe everything you're told?" He goes, "No." Okay, so what's wrong with me not believing everything I'm told? And he's like, "Oh." I don't know. I don't know how he didn't know that line of questioning was going to that point. I don't know, but anyway. But yeah, let me open my Twitter. Hold on. Oh, so what the fuck I do with the damn keyboard? I need adult supervision. Got that. Okay, so okay, probably help if I actually just screen share shit. All right, I'm not. There we go. All right. Go here. Go to my wall or whatever. Twitter wall, I guess. Yes. Check out Chris Knight later tonight. Alright. A little further. Part of the reason I retweeted it, besides just being like information sharing, is because, well, I mean, it helps me be able to go back and find it. Anyway, so here's this. Leave it. So yeah, they've got roads blocked off, which I mean I do get because people want to get out because they don't want to get sick, but you can't risk somebody who might just not be showing symptoms yet spreading it everywhere. So, and we don't. I mean, I don't think they've even told us what the gestation period for this is before you show symptoms. I mean, if it's got like a week or two gestation, then holy shit, that could be really bad. You can do a lot of traveling in a week or two. So I don't know if they've talked about it, having what gestation period it has, but if you've heard it, I would like to know. They're talking about this is how they were transporting people who are infected. So how do they expect it? How else would you expect to transport somebody that might be that contagious? Let's see. It says the virus has spread to Japan, South Korea. There's also an Australian that is being tested for it. It's possible the Australian person is over in China and not actually in Australia. Here's the press conference that I was telling you guys about. So let me see. I may have to bring my volume up. Give me a second so you can hear. Okay.
Can you hear us well now?
Let me find it. So I think it's around.
And many other pollutants.
I think it's around the 7-minute mark.
Decision to a series of global expert networks and partnerships that have dealt with laboratory diagnostic, assay development, infection prevention.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Are you serious? Wait. Is my whole internet doing this or just this page? Wow. Okay.
Control, clinical management, standardized data collection, mathematical modeling, research and development, and many other pillars of the response.
Okay.
We've been providing technical support to member states, both member states affected and unaffected states. We've been sharing critical updates with member states through our EIS platform with member states with disease outbreak news and through the WHO website. We have released a comprehensive technical package of interim guidance for 2019 nCoV. These materials are online, reviewed daily, and updated regularly. We have updated travel advice for international travel and health in relation to the outbreak. In addition, we have been working very, very closely with global partners and the Global Coordination Mechanism for Research and Development for Epidemic Diseases as part of the Research and Development Blueprint, working with institutions such as CEPI and others on advancing medical interventions, diagnostics, therapeutics, and vaccines. And at the moment, the landscapes analysis for those have been completed. We're working on sample and virus sharing. We're working on developing and disseminating clinical trial protocols and many other issues related to the carrying out of structured evidence-based research in the field as needed. The priorities right now, notwithstanding the deliberations of the committee, member states affected have implemented a number of control measures. These have focused, and WHO agrees. The primary issue is to limit human-to-human transmission, to reduce secondary infections, especially amongst close contact and particularly in healthcare environments. We need to prevent transmission through amplification events and super spreading events, and obviously prevent further international spread. Reducing zoonotic transmission or transmission from animals to humans is important, and identifying the animal source or sources and limiting exposure to those sources is exceptionally important. We need all member states to focus on early identification and isolation of suspect cases and probable and confirmed cases, and we are working closely to equip countries to be able to detect and isolate and provide optimized standards of care. There are many unknowns to address in this event, including clinical severity and the true extent and nature of disease transmission. Communicating critical risk and event information to all communities is the responsibility of everybody, our member states, the media, and WHO. And we at this time must particularly counter misinformation that may affect people's behavior. And lastly, minimizing social and economic impact is important at this time. So the organization is fully activated at all levels with our partners in response to this event, and we await further deliberations tomorrow of the committee. We await those deliberations.
Thank you very much. Before we go to questions, first I have to apologize to Dr. Sylvie Briand, who is sitting next to Dr. Mike Ryan.
All right. Oh, okay. There we go. Hey, Killer Whale. Sorry, I was on the other page, so I didn't see you there. How are you? You're making me want to download Plague again. I'm guessing that's a game. Oh, yeah, I love that game. Oh, always control. How do government control fear and panic? By telling people whatever they need to hear to keep them calm, I assume. But technically, they're sort of right for doing it. Now, usually I'm not on the side of media lying to people. But there's got to be a fine line between telling people don't freak out because they don't want people rioting in the streets, making each other sick, and freaking the fuck out is going to make it worse. But you want them to be just worried enough to stay in the house and not go out unless they need to. Because honestly, if that shit was running around here, I wouldn't want to leave anywhere. Hell no. Psh, fuck all that. Thank you, Killer Whale. You are a doll. Or, oh, okay. Got it. Anyway, as you heard the rotund gentleman talking about, is that they're talking about hurrying up and figuring out how it works, how the virus moves, this and that. But as you saw on the patent I had shown y'all, actually some of y'all did not see it, so I will go back and show it real quick just for those tuning in. Hey, Fox, you're here just in time for the weird shit. Anyway, so, all right. Something else I noticed about this when I read it is, so as you can see, this is patent, at the very least, this is a patent for isolating certain parts of the virus. But the point, nonetheless, when they say that it's a new virus, considering there was a patent put on this in 2003, that doesn't sound super new. So, like I said, it's a little weird that they're saying that it's new and they have to learn all these things about the virus, but shit, look at it. They've had almost 20 years to do it. So, like, yeah, okay. I have to be honest about it and be like, don't worry, we got this under control. Anyway, there was something here, because they were talking about animal to human transmission, and they seemed surprised that it was, at least the first couple of days I was hearing about this, they seemed surprised that it could go from person to person. But if I can find it, okay, where is it? There's so much here, so, but it was talking about being host specific. And I do believe what that means is that if there's a snake version of this, it stays among snakes. If there's a rat version, it stays among rats. It usually will not jump species, is what I'm assuming host specific means. If I'm wrong, by all means tell me, but that's pretty much what I'm figuring out. So they're trying to blame this on either a snake or a bat, which I think is kind of odd. Okay, so here we go. There are 3 known groups of coronavirus that are associated with a variety of these diseases of human and domestic animals. Cattle, pigs, rodents, the whole bit. Gastroenteritis, I think that's how you say it. I thought that was just intestinal distress, but I guess it could be. I don't know. But anyway, canine, feline, porcine? Sorry, I do not know what that word is. Sorry. Human. Anyway, all right. So there's a whole bunch of versions, I guess, of this coronavirus. Right here, coronaviruses are generally host specific. So it does seem kind of strange that nobody's talking about any animals being infected, even though I'm sure a shit ton of people over there have animals. But nobody's really talking much about animals and if they're spreading it or not. They only seem to be worried about people. Snake flu, right? But just reading up on this and bouncing ideas off people. Ugh. Pretty bad when you can't even smoke some green. That's pretty bad. Well, technically the flu is a virus, but yeah. Oh, bloody hell. Anyway, but I just thought it was odd because, like, it seems to be jumping from person to person. You pretty much get, my cats are fine. My cats are fine? I certainly hope so. But they're not really talking about quarantining animals, or at least I've not heard about them like going out and killing any animals in case they're contagious. They just seem to be focused on people, but they're theorizing that it went from animals to people that started this. But doesn't it seem possibly more likely that it was a person that somehow started this? Because I am wondering how they claim this is a new virus, but they've had it. The CDC has had this virus for a very long time. Now they closed the city. 11 million people approximately are locked in the city. Like, didn't Resident Evil have that situation where they had the roads blocked up and people were trying to get out? I mean, I don't think there's going to be any, like, zombie dogs or anything. But the point is, they locked down a city bigger than New York. That's a major undertaking. And it's a little frightening. I mean, I can understand the concept of not wanting to spread any further. I get that. But man, it just seems like an absolute disaster potentially waiting. I mean, they're making it sound, it is potentially a pandemic. There's epidemic and pandemic. One's just way fucking bigger than the other. So, but Hold on. Six Hexen Hammer. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. It seems like a lot of letters. I was using all my brain cells for reading biology and bioengineering and shit right there. I used all the brain cells I had for that shit. But yeah, I don't know. Like a few of you, at least a couple of you in the audience, are thinking that it's been potentially done on purpose, and I can't rule that out. I mean, I have no evidence to say it did or was not done on purpose. It just does seem odd that they're claiming it's a new virus, and that's kind of what I'm hanging on. Is what they were saying that they've been doing a really good job of getting it mapped out really fast and this and that. And I'm like, and actually, someone I know came up with a theory that this may have something to do with our debt to China. Now, I don't. Now, that particular theory could go a couple of ways. And like I said, this is a theory. This is not 100%. I'm not accusing anyone of shit. I'm just saying, if this was a movie and you want to try to guess the plot and motive of the movie, I'm weak. I how to my sweet nicotine. Oh, bow. Sorry, bow to your sweet nicotine. Indeed. Look him up. Extremely intelligent actor. Is an anti-witchcraft campaign in Europe back in the day. Okay. I will give that a look here in a little bit. Excuse me. Don't worry, I don't have pneumonia. Just 25 years of smoking. Anyway, I don't interact with people enough to be sick. But it would be an awesome book. There are books similar to this kind of situation. One is called The Hot Zone, I think, and it's about Ebola. And the book was written around 1974, something around there. And it was set, I think, around late 50s, early 60s, possibly. It's been a long time since I read that. That was back when the Ebola outbreak was going on and people were freaking. And it just so happened I happened to have a book of that. So I've never had anything like this before. And to tell you the truth, it just makes you incredibly tired. Have you been to a doctor? Although I'm worried that you wouldn't. I don't know. I'm afraid the hospital would be a bit of a panic because right now everybody's on edge. Probably especially hospital personnel at the fear that it's going to be their hospital. Someone's going to walk in with it. So, although if they think you have it, you're going to probably get some pretty fast care. Like, yeah, I'm showing pneumonia symptoms. They're going to be like, hold on. It'd come in one of those fucking outbreak suits and shit. Like, oh, I guess I got moved to the head of the line. Shit. Hopefully it's just regular pneumonia, and hopefully it doesn't give you something for it and sort you out. Hope so. Anyway, yeah, lost my train of thought there. I think I had like 3 trains of thought, and they're just all derailed. I have that issue. But, yeah, a few of you do seem to think it is a possibility that this was done on purpose. And like I said, it's possible. I mean, if you look at some of the experiments the U.S. government has done in the past on people, like I said earlier, Tuskegee Airmen experiments are a very good example of sneaky shit being done. And not to mention, a long time, I think, God, what was it, like 50s or 60s? I think the U.S. Army soldiers, some of them were experimented on and injected with some kind of radioactive material to see what would happen. Hey, Slasher. Oh, wait. The Stand. I can't remember the beginning. I know there was like a flu-like disease that went through and wiped out almost everybody, but I can't remember how it started. It's been years since I've seen that. Probably lack of oxygen. Yep, 2 antibiotics a day, 4 steroids. Damn. Some other pills and an inhaler. Holy crap. Goodness. Ooh, 9 pills a day. Good Lord. Hope you get better soon. Hello! Oh my God, I've got a kitty in the crowd. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Sorry, I'd love this picture. Sand, complete and uncut, and it are both longer than the box. Dang. Oh my god. I was talking to my daughter's aunt today, and we were joking about bring out your dead, and I was trying to remember how the line goes. The guy goes, "But I'm not dead." "No, you will be soon." You know, engineered in the lab. Well, I don't know if it was engineered in the lab. It could have been, but I know they've had access to this virus for way longer than they're claiming. That I'm able to prove. I just can't necessarily prove anything else. And it is odd looking that they're acting like this is so brand new. And they're actually slowly seem to be changing the name of it to the, now like I said, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right, Wuhan flu, because I think that's the name of the town that's on lockdown. I'm not dead yet. All right, yeah, I knew it was something like that. So it has been in somebody's lab being messed with. That patent shows that is the case. But what was done, and if that, because, okay, back up slightly. If you engineer a virus or engineer technically anything in a lab, there's a certain kind of almost like a chemical signature, so to speak, that somewhat differentiates it from, like, say, a natural virus or whatever. Like, every lab does something a little bit different, and so it's like almost a different signature. Now, I don't know if it would be exact match for the one in the lab in, I think the CDC is in Atlanta, at least according to Walking Dead, that's where it's at. But, and how it got itself to China, if it is that, does sound a little strange. Not to say that there isn't a lab there, that someone got infected by accident. It is quite possible that they took a sample of the virus to China to do experiments and shit on, and someone accidentally got infected, and they don't want to look bad, like, oh shit, someone fucked up protocol, someone got sick, let's blame it on one of the animals. Let's lock everybody down. That could have happened. Mistakes happen, probably more than we realize. And yeah, so that's quite possible. Yes, I am smoking cloves. Sorry, it took me a second to read down. You're one of the first people to actually get that. Usually people think I have a blunt, and I'm like, not that I'm opposed to it, it's just, oh, God's sake. Spread fucking fire-safe chemicals. If I want to have a cigarette burning it to the end, that's my business. Hey, guys. Hey, memes. We are talking about the coronavirus and how odd it was. I was showing a press conference from last night that the World Health Organization. I hadn't heard the Winnie flu. I just haven't. But hello. Hey. Okay. Be safe. Sorry, my offspring. She was just letting me know she's going to the neighbor's house. I do appreciate that at least, even though she's almost a teenager, she still stops and asks me. I hate to feel like she doesn't need me at all. Well, the labs are going to be a little different. I think they're very careful about keeping their feet and everything covered. Most of those labs will have you wearing like a head to foot like suit, like an outbreak. So most likely they have a different protocol than wearing like sandals. And I don't know if I have no experience or have witnessed field workers wearing flip-flops. I don't rule out it's possible. But when it comes to like diseases, I'm pretty sure that they're going to hire people who aren't just going to wear flip-flops. So, but coronavirus was patented by the WHO and Bill Gates a long time ago. It's a depopulation plan. Maybe? I mean, like I said, I can't rule it out. I'm not in anyone's head, so I don't know. But it does. Well, whose depopulation plan, though? I would wonder. And the reason why I ask is because if China is, like, they've locked down the city and they're trying to prevent it from spreading, although they apparently didn't quite catch it in time, so it has spread a bit. But if they're trying to prevent it from spreading, I don't know. I think the whole thing could be a real world exercise, I think is the term. Hold on a second, sorry. What's that? What? Hold on. An accident in the government biohazard is infected with superfluid escape. That's how the stands. Oh, okay, that's how. Well, this could have happened. They could have sent the virus from the CDC to China to be tested on. Someone accidentally got infected and didn't do the full decontamination protocol and spread it, and they don't want their ass in the sling because one of their employees fucked up. And yeah, that's I believe that is possible. Ruling class. It could evolve. Yes. It depends. All right. So if it was engineered, and that's like I said, if not accusing anybody, but if it was, they could, if they had the capability or knew it well enough, could, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically program it. It's kind of like a gene therapy type of thing. It's kind of hard to explain, but you could theoretically design or alter a virus to where it would have limited replication. And because the mutation happens, I believe, as it replicates. And so if it has a proper host, under the right conditions, sometimes they can mutate in a way that it moves out of its programming, so to speak, and could mutate and evolve. But if they have this where I can't figure out how to explain. It's such a weird thing to try to explain. But if they did engineer it, they could have given it a longer or shorter lifespan to survive. Hold on. Their wet dream is to release a super virus. With that, they can snuff out discourse. That, yeah, because, seriously, what am I alive again? Don't ask. Just don't. There's times I have my glasses on my head and don't know where they are. Terrible. That's theoretically possible. This seems kind of like overkill, just because there's some discourse in the streets. Because with it would be kind of hard to program it to where it would if you engineered a virus correctly, you could probably basically program it to maybe go after certain thickets where certain people with certain genetic markers would be targeted and more likely to die than a different group. But it's not going to be able to necessarily snuff out just protesters and no one else. To do that, they wouldn't be able to necessarily control who got sick. But yeah, I mean, between us having an incredible debt to China over the last 10 or more years and them having political discourse going on, there's tons of theories of what it... Huh? Sorry to throw words at me. I have no idea. Hegalania. You're going to have to, private message me what that is about. I don't know. They would attack people's food. Food or water source. I think technically water source, depending on how they set up, would actually be smarter in a way. Reason being is if they have it set up like we do, where, if there's a certain water tower in certain areas or reservoirs, you could technically poison just that neighborhood and possibly, but you still run the risk that if someone doesn't show symptoms a little longer than someone else, that person could spread it further than you realize because they might be what's called asymptomatic, which means you are infected, you show no symptoms. That is a possibility. He is on the board of the Pirbright Institute, the same institute that patented the virus. According, this shows that the Google patent page that I looked at said that there's a list of medical or lab techs or whatever, they don't have doctor or whatever in front of it, so I assume they're doctors sometimes, that it's patented by these bunch of doctors through the CDC and Health and Human Services. I did not see on the patent page the Pilbright Institute. Doesn't mean that it's not there. It's just I didn't see it personally. And I actually did see a clip a few years ago of Bill Gates saying that if they did a good job with medication, that they could drop our population by 10%, which is kind of weird if medicine's working correctly. Wouldn't that be an increase by 10%, not a decrease? So that is kind of weird. I don't know if he misspoke, but it is kind of odd to have seen that clip. I did. So I don't have an explanation for that. Sometimes people just misspeak, but I never did hear him correct it either. So I'm kind of like, there's a lot. In the days I used to DJ, I would point out and ridicule clove smokers until they put that smelly crap out. Well, good thing this is my channel. Anyway, problem, reaction, solution is, okay. Well, it just seems kind of out of pocket to unleash a disease because of protesters. It would make more sense if they would try out something like, I forget what it is, but it has like, it looks like a huge satellite dish, and it puts out like a type of sound or frequency that makes people kind of hold their head and drop. Like, I forget what it is called, but they were considering using it for protesters here a few years ago. It would make more sense to use something like that. That's something kind of directional. Or a virus, it could go anywhere and do anything. So it seems like kind of a bad idea. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe if your whole country was protesting, maybe, but I don't know. It would seem smart that they would, I don't know, shut down the city and then unleash it, not the other way around, where it's just. So obviously, it's gotten to Japan, Korea, and I think another country. And I think there is talk of one case here in Washington State. I don't know for sure. I only saw like one news source mention it, but there is a chance it is here in the U.S. at this point, or at least in that capacity as opposed to in Atlanta. But what I find interesting is, like, I don't know if they have or not, because like I said, they don't, on the news, they don't tell us everything. I don't know if it only affected Asians, but it is like SARS. It's actually an offshoot of SARS. It just seems to be a little meaner. But like I said when I first started the stream, percentage-wise, let's see, I don't know what the population of China is, but if you add China, Japan, and a couple other places that have the same size of the virus, I think there is just under 20 that have died, and approximately 100 that are potentially infected. Percentage-wise, that's actually not very high. I mean, I know the number's a lot to the people who are sick, and I do feel bad for them. But if you look at the entire population, that's like a fraction of a fraction. It's actually a very small number of people that's been infected so far. Trying to decipher this one. The population is that not? Usually when you think of the concept of depopulation, you're thinking about large chunks of people gone. And like I said, it's only like 100 sick and 20 that have died. So that's not actually a super high number for the last, I don't know, when did this start? Like a week ago? That's actually not necessarily a lot. I think we have that many drunk drivers die a week. Well, I think holidays depend. But honestly, if you think about it, so far the number's not actually all that outrageous. It's definitely not good, and it does have the potential to get worse. But hold on. You should probably look at the coronavirus tab on Twitter. LOL, China is freaking out and it's leaking. Well, I can understand them being worried. Being locked down in a city where a disease broke out, I can understand them being worried. This is very concerning. So I'm not surprised. I did hear that they were trying to censor people because there are people in China who think the U.S. may have had something to do with this outbreak. And it probably doesn't help that the U.S. has a patent on the virus, or at least a patent on a process to do with the virus, which indicates they've had a long-term knowledge of said virus. So it does look weird that they're acting like this is a new virus when obviously the patent paperwork I was showing everybody shows that they've known about this virus since 2003. So it is a little, yeah. Just that alone is making me kind of like suspicious because these people are supposed to be on top of it. So how would they not know this virus already existed? Packed with lines going down the block, and people are just. Oh, I did see one video. Um, I don't. I, I mean, the guy could have had a heart attack for all we know. We didn't really see him coughing or anything. The video I saw, the guy was just on the ground. I mean, he could have easily had a stroke or a heart attack and dropped. It's really hard to say when the clip is only about like 5 or 6 seconds. Technically, well, kind of. Because it's not necessarily the people themselves that would call in the debt that America owes to China. It'd be their government. And as far as I know, I've not heard about any government official um, being sick. It doesn't mean that there isn't, just that I have not heard it. And they're the ones that are deciding whether or not to cash in on a debt or not. So depopulating regular civilians in China, I don't see would be beneficial necessarily. Okay, there is many videos. Not that I don't look, it's just there's so much information across the internet, it's hard to keep track of all of it. And I'm just trying to keep an even outlook on it. So, I think LOL is pretty unnecessary. This might be a plot for a power grab with the CCP. What's CCP? Hey, Outlaw, how are you doing? Is there like a news ticker of games? They have the highest population. I thought it was India that had the highest population. Well, it could be close. I know that both are very impressive. Could be. Apparently both felt this. I hope I smoked more. Well, I mean, it is possible. But if America has had access, well, the CDC's had access to this virus in 2003, I don't. In an attempt to wipe, I mean, there's only very few that have died or become infected. Even though they locked down the entire city, it still spread. So, like, if they were trying to keep this a neat, tidy little situation, it didn't stay that way. So, I don't know. Oh, it's okay. Chinese Communist. Okay, CCP. Okay, gotcha. Sorry. Kissinger. Oh man, that fucker's still alive. Jesus. Actually, yeah, I would vote most likely for this kind of crap. The guy's actually bragged for a long time about people being useless eaters and being unnecessary in a very menacing sort of fashion. So yeah, Kissinger is kind of a fucking weirdo, to be honest. Like, I'm not gonna lie. There's always way more than a few. Well, that's true. That there is always more. I haven't had a chance. There's so much information about this going on. It's hard to sort it all out. It doesn't mention that. It probably does, or some kind of treatment. It most likely does. The paperwork didn't say it, but if they've had the blueprint for this virus for almost 20 years, they must have come up with some sort of treatment or something. So it's possible, and they're probably holding on to it for a little bit. That it's possible they're going to wait and then look like heroes and save everyone, or save a few. But yeah, they probably figured that a few broken eggs for the greater good, keep people on the edge of their seat under control. It's a possibility. Of course, we have the antidote: antibiotics, steroids, ginger ale. And being strong going into it, I'm not talking about infants. Yeah, anytime there's a disease, children and the elderly or immune compromised are always most likely to succumb to it first. That could be why that only like 20 or so have died and not more. That is possible. It's just like Operation Naomi with AIDS virus, another lab created problem for the masses. I have, I actually did see a very old interview. I think it may have been from like the 60s or 70s of a guy who claimed that he actually created the AIDS virus. So that was a little bit of an odd thing to admit in an interview. Because even if I had, I wouldn't have admitted it. It was kind of odd. That's who created it. I must admit, on the paperwork, the CDC's name is on it. It's the ownership tag, basically. So who exactly designed it, or if there was an accident and messed up in protocol and someone accidentally got infected and spread it, don't know. But President and Prime Minister have antidotes to almost everything, even anthrax. Like, I would admit it. In fairness, you probably wouldn't have created the AIDS virus either. I wouldn't have. If I was, yeah, I would have to quit my job if someone said, hey, why don't you create a virus that's hard to kill? Nope. I'd be more interested in trying to create an antidote for what's already here. Would not be trying to create new weird shit. See, there's one of the problems I actually have with creating new viruses to work on. Because the virus had the look and the layout of it has to match well enough for an antidote to work. And so, and remember earlier I had mentioned that when someone engineers a virus or creates one or whatever, there's a certain signature to it, a certain way it's done. And if it's not a proper match, it might not work for trying to give someone something that will create antibodies against the virus. So creating a brand new virus is okay if your virus gets out, but if someone else makes one similar to it, but not enough that your medicine would work, then you pretty much have to start all over and you have to worry about that. So personally, I would have just worked on cures and not try to create new weird shit. Because, yeah, sounds like nasty business. People need to build up their immune system. AIDS documentary. Yeah, I saw clips of it. I didn't see like a full one. Have any of you met anyone with it? I met a girl in like 2000, in the year 2000, I think, or around then, or 2001, I think it was, and she had AIDS. And as far as I know of, she's the only person I ever met that had it. Of course, she was quite obvious because she had like a couple of sores around her ankle that were like constantly bandaged and was seeping. And I was like, it's a little unnerving, even though I know that the AIDS virus isn't airborne, it's not going to get me sick, but it's a little surprising when you're, what was I, like 19? Yeah, I would have been like 19, and I've never met anyone with AIDS before that I'm aware of, and so, yeah, it was a little freaky to me. I didn't say anything to be rude to her or anything, but it was a little off-putting, I guess, for lack of a better term. Biological warfare is one of the worst, if not the worst kind. Biological warfare and nuclear warfare are two things that just really should never have been started, ever. It's fucking awful. I've just seen a video of a doctor collapse in China. That's not good, because if anyone knew to keep themselves covered and safe from the disease, you would think the doctor would have known how. So that's a confidence breaker right there. Not gonna lie. Oh, several AIDS patients, I'm assuming. Oh, yes. This guy, I was talking to him earlier, and I believe he's a retired doctor. And he admitted that some of this looks a little odd. Let's see. Can you catch AIDS from a toilet seat? I theorize that it's possible. The reason why, if you have like, especially if you're a girl, because, well, with female anatomy, you're a little more, let's see, how should I say it, designed, you're more likely to get an infection than a guy. It's not impossible, but it's more likely. But I suppose if you set your hoo-ha basically on the seat and like say infected blood is on there and it's fresh enough, technically you're coming in contact with infected fluid, you could. Because I do believe that the AIDS virus can survive in a little bit of blood for about a half hour before the virus dies, I do believe. So technically, if you just set your hoo-ha right on an infected puddle on the toilet seat, you technically could. Although usually the toilet seat touches like the backs of my legs and not my hoo-ha because you're supposed to put that in the middle of the toilet seat. But whatever. But I suppose it's yeah. Only in a lifetime. That means that if it is extremely rare, that it was shut down all over. Shut down all of our throats growing up. Okay. That actually would be you like I thought about oh goodness. Different design. Well, yeah, it's because like I mean my thing is set up to where it's not kids, but I'm not trying to be crude or like inappropriate, but yeah, I'm trying to say it in the most like PG like way. That truth is, if not for an A bomb, I might not exist. The story I make someday tell. Maybe, but maybe not. I think bunker busters would have worked just fine if you're referencing World War II. I think bunker busters would have worked just as well on military targets instead of evaporating a fucking civilian population. I really think that was unnecessary, quite honestly. Probably not a popular opinion, and I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel about that. I think that's just completely unnecessary. If someone nuked a civilian population here, we'd be absolutely incensed. Of course, we'd be incensed if we got any kind of bomb dropped on us. America does not take. I gotta admit, most people would not. Well, yeah, nobody really likes. They like dishing it out, but they don't like taking it. Nobody does. So to be fair, man, it's 4:30. It's actually going better than I thought it was going to go because, like, I don't know. I thought either nobody was gonna care or y'all gonna think I was weird for bringing up some of this. Germany needed to be shown an example. Yeah, but we didn't nuke Germany. We nuked Japan. I'm really surprised they didn't nuke Germany. Like, I'm not sure why they did Japan and not Germany, but like, I'm sure there's some politics to that. No, it's about two people that met in the place of. Oh, okay. I gotcha. All right. Hold on. So, is there anything about the virus you've seen in the news that you have questions or wonder about? I mean, I don't think I have any answers, but I can at least share in your curiosity. See what y'all think. I mean, other than thinking that our governments may have been involved, which is not necessarily impossible. If nothing else, possibly just a cover up. It's quite possible because humans make mistakes. That they were doing experiments on the virus and someone got accidentally infected. Remember an outbreak? Like someone had like pricked their finger or something and was like didn't want to tell anybody that like it happened. And they were like, so they kept it to themselves, and it turned out they were infected. China might be I'm assuming China is very strict that if it finds out you have the virus, you're on lockdown. There's no telling what's going to happen to you. You're not going to have a lawyer. You're not going to have any advocates, nothing. So it's quite possible the person found out there was a chance they were infected and they were so scared of what was going to happen to them that they fucking bolted and went home and got someone sick on the way. It's quite possible. But the fact they're trying to blame this on a snake or a bat seems kind of silly since the virus is, for the most part, supposed to be host specific. It's really hard to say that. I keep stuttering when I say that. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Hey, Curtis. At work, Matt. Thank you, sweetie. I'm probably not going to be on much longer. But now the mainstream media in West is picking up what I said. Well, I never said you were wrong. Why are we not suspending? We are. As far as well, actually, it's limited. But what they're doing I saw one clip where what they're doing is they're checking people for fever and things like that. There is a slight problem with that because a fever indicates that your immune system is fighting something. So you could just have a simple fever from a low level infection that has nothing to do with this virus, and you could be detained. Or you could have a somewhat compromised immune system, and you're not producing a fever that's indicative to having this virus, even if you do have it. So if your body's not fighting off the virus as much, it may not indicate a fever. So if they're just checking for basically a fever, people with questionable immune system could be easily just getting right past that detection. Or if they took like a fever reducer, like a medication, like they weren't feeling good, and like yeah, so it could basically disguise some of the symptoms temporarily. So, but I can understand technically not wanting to just can't really just stick and take a blood sample and test every single person getting on the airplane. That's a little tough to do. But I saw a video of guards blocking the train station. Nobody's allowed in or out. So they have limited travel a lot. Everyone needs to buy good vitamin D3 and take a little more than is recommended. Then get busy with physical activity. To be fair, I probably should do that anyway. Let me look into coral calcium as well. Let's see. There's also there is. I was wondering about that. What's the average incubation period on this? Because I've been wondering that. Because if you show symptoms within an hour or two, that's kind of good because you need to hurry up and know so you know not to go anywhere. But if it's like 4 or 5 days, you could do a lot of traveling and a lot of infecting in 4 or 5 days. Especially if you have one of those jobs that require commutes like an hour away, if you end up on a train or a bus. Oof. I don't know how contagion really works, so I made sure my son is staying with his mom, even though it's currently my. That is a good idea. Different viruses and diseases in general sometimes have different ways they behave and pass from person to person. Like, like if someone with AIDS coughed on your shoulder, like you wouldn't just magically get AIDS. Like it doesn't work that way. So, different like you having pneumonia, even if it is just regular pneumonia, which I'm sure it is, and I hope that's all that it is, you still could get your son sick. So just yeah, him not getting sick in general is probably good. So I think you made a good move there. Fevers tend to only be for bacterial infections. Viruses generally only raise the body temperature by a small amount. The person must be really screwed up to have a high temp. Well, they might be very strict on it. Like if you're over the average 96.8 or 98.6, more dyslexic. If you're like 1 or 2 degrees over that, they probably might detain the person. That's possible. Depends on how strict they're being about this. I know it's for mostly bacterial infections. Usually, if someone has like flu, which is viral, they'll have fevers. But I don't know. There's been a couple of times where I had like 104 fever, and they tested me for flu, and I was negative. I've had many different things, generally around a week or two. Ooh, shit. So we've probably not seen the worst it can get. Uh, People need to stand in horse stance for 15 minutes daily. Okay. 3 day, it will be spreading like mad. Most likely, it's probably going to double or triple what it is now. If if ambient vibes is right, because a week or so. Let's give up on that cigarette, honestly. Yeah, this is really bad. And it may not even be including people that feel so sick right now they can't even leave their house. It could be an unbelievable amount of people still at home in their house, infected and too sick to go anywhere. They may not even realize. They may end up having to do door-to-door shit if they're not already doing it. I work on Saturday, so I'm going to go back to the damn doctor tomorrow to get it on. I need to chill and not force myself to work. I really don't need to. Yeah, because sometimes we do our best recovery when we're resting or sleeping. And so, yes, I would agree. Oh, okay. I will check that in a little bit. Oh, thank you, Huntagra. Huntagra. Sorry, I am bad at pronouncing stuff. I'm sorry. Horse dance. When the TV hits commercial, do a horse dance, 3 minute burn. I have never actually tried to do a horse dance, so I was not aware that like that was like an exercise or something. I'll try that later because I feel like I'd look silly just standing there like that. So I don't want to look too silly in front of people. But yeah. All right. So this is that we've heard about. This has been going on for about a week. So there's a chance that in that gestation period, of say the people who are known to be sick now, they've probably been contagious for a week or so, and only now starting to show symptoms. It's an area like with a population that high, depending on what they do. Although most likely, they've gone to the store, they've been around a lot of people. I'm wondering just how many people have actually been affected or not. And I'm curious, like, what are the ages? Because I do believe it was Jesse that mentioned that children and elderly would be the most susceptible to this virus. So, I guess so. So yeah, that's a frightening thought that this could double or triple or more. Because, I mean, even one of those people could have been around 15 or 20 people at a store or anything else. I mean, did we ever even think about how many people we've been within proximity of just going to go get gasoline or cigarettes or food at the store? Being horse stance for an hour? That'd be very good for me. If I stand in one place too long, I can feel my feet turning purple. My circulation's kind of shoddy. Like, I can get blood to my feet, I just don't want it to come back up. Ancient Kung Fu thing, you sound like you're riding a horse. It's a asymmetrical workout and it burns like hell after a couple minutes. Alright, I don't want to look silly in front of y'all, but now y'all made me wonder, so I'm gonna go over here and do it. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay, I see what you mean. I can feel that in my legs and my butt muscles. I know it's gluteus maximus, but the butt muscles just sounded funnier. I don't want anyone to kick me in the ribs. I got some pansy ass ribs. But oh, I missed just a packed hospital alone. Yeah, no kidding. That's a frightening thought. I mean, can you imagine like going to the hospital because you tripped and like hurt your knee and you want to make sure you didn't chip a bone and or anything, and you go in and you might not come out. I mean, even here actually that's a possibility because we got like super bugs and shit here in hospitals all over the place, really. So it's always a crapshoot when you go to a hospital that you might catch something because someone wasn't quite thorough enough when cleaning. So that's always a possibility, but just the thought of it though is frightening. I'm trying to drag information out of Brian that's 20 years old. I didn't even like crouch down that far. I would not be able to hold a stick across my legs and just roll off. I don't think I could stay down at that angle long enough to keep a stick on my legs. Wow, holy shit. The Scottish who might have the virus people were in London airport for a time. Oh, fuck. That was probably a very packed airplane coming to and so it stopped in London. So they could have infected a shitload of people in London and then gone to Scotland. Oh, fuck. This was quick. That's scary. Like, and they're not probably not even showing symptoms yet. You know how many people are probably absolutely scared and paranoid worried they may have an infection or don't know they do. That's got to be just absolutely nerve-wracking. Yeah, hospitals are generally dirty. You want to stay away. Yeah, I don't go to the hospital unless I absolutely fucking have to. I absolutely avoid it if I can. I already looked at that. Sorry. I'm always thirsty. And how are you, LaRue? Uh, I hate going near hospitals for the amount of germs. Right? Yeah, I try to avoid it. Unless I'm in a lot of fucking pain, I will avoid going to the hospital. Even when I had that 104 fever, I didn't want to go. But when it was at 103, the person I was hanging out with was worried. I was like, all right, I'll make you a deal. If it goes to 104, I'll go to the hospital. And they're like, okay. It went up to 104. I was like, son of a bitch. I didn't really feel like going. My temperature actually dropped once I went outside and got to the hospital. I don't know why, but it dropped down to like 101. I was like, really? Now that I'm here, now it does it? I'm annoyed with that, but they tested. I didn't have the flu. 500 million people will die from coronavirus, I bet, in 24 months. Ooh, God, I hope you're wrong. But it's possible. Well, I mean, yeah, because I think at this point it's basically mostly spread out of control. Because even if they lock down the London airport, because Thomas said that some infected people may have gone through there, they did lock down Wuhan. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but the city where the outbreak seems to have originated. 11 million people are locked down, and it still got out. It got out before they, closed everything off. Because I do believe Ambient mentioned that. Oh, here we go. Australia confirmed. Japan confirmed. Canada? Shit. For it to kill that many people would first have to mutate, which is not impossible, but it's very low probability. Well, it may not even have to mutate at this point because it may have already broken out because it's possibly in Canada, one case known in the U.S., I do believe. Okay. Spanish flu killed 19 million people, I do believe, in like 2 years. Yeah, it was around World War One, I believe. Oh, come on. Everyone exposed can spread the virus, symptoms or not. Yes, they could be asymptomatic. The only thing that stops a person from being contagious is their immune system has created a hunter T cell. Right on. Oh, one of two. Okay, so there's going to be another thing of it coming up. Yes, and since he used to be a doctor, he could correct me if I'm wrong. If you catch the virus, it's a gestation period, and I do believe that it has to be able to replicate to where your viral load is high enough that you at that point have become contagious. I do believe that's how it works. I think there is much more involved, but generally that's it. Hold on. Spanish flu mutated; it became less dangerous, so it burned itself out. Well, I don't know the full story and the history of the Spanish flu. I have not looked up, so I will just go with you on that because I have no reason to argue because I don't know any. I don't know my facts on that. Oh, there is more than one. Shit. Oh, I already got that part. This is fucking depressing, but it's good to talk about because if anybody's stressed about it, they can at least talk about it. Not correct on Spanish flu. Which part is not correct? I'm just curious. Did the death toll or like the time, or are you talking about the fact that it burned itself out? Because like diseases do occasionally kind of just run their course, so to speak. Sometimes they leave a path of destruction. Sometimes they don't. Honestly, like with all this shit going on, that's like when people freak out about chicken pox and measles, honestly, I don't even freak out about that shit because unless your immune system's totally trashed, like you're probably not gonna die from it. But this shit, when this shit's going on, this shit freaks me out. Ebola, stuff like that, that potentially has a high fatality rate. I'm trying to think of the right term for that. That shit freaks me out. It's like, but people who are germaphobes, this is the time to be a little bit concerned. I'll definitely say that. Hold on. I watched Contagion yesterday. Pretty much described. Ooh, I hope people aren't chewing on each other. I'm just being an ass. Yeah, it is scary though. That movie freaked me out. Numbers and mutation. Ah, okay, so both. Fair enough. Ocean means war art. That's not what I would have guessed, but it means hard work. That's possible. When the Chinese Communist Party outlawed martial, they did? That's kind of a weird thing. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like culturally insensitive, but it seems weird if they that part of their heritage they had outlawed. It seems weird. I'm not saying it's wrong. I just think that's odd. Anyway, Kung Fu then became the generic term for CMA. Cross martial arts? Is that what that means? I don't know. I'm not talking about spreading. It's already spread all over the world. Anyone who tells you different is ignorant. I'm talking about the virus self-mutating into something deadly. Oh, a deadly form. Oh, okay, I gotcha. All right. Oh, Chinese martial arts. Okay, thank you. I was not sure. Oh, okay, sorry. Couldn't hurt. Maybe it'd work, maybe it wouldn't, but at least with free tea and lemon, like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You don't lose nothing. Oh, excuse me. Although I would imagine you probably need some way stronger antioxidants and a lot stronger everything for something like this. But again, doesn't hurt. Yeah, like, I gotta admit, like, the more I'm hearing about this, the more I'm trying not to fall into the whole panic thing where people get all worked up because, like, me freaking out or panicking is not gonna do any good. Honestly, like, all I'm gonna do is stress myself out. Like, it's my worry is not gonna magically protect Oklahoma from getting like infection. Although if I do hear about it, which it might be a week too late if I do, because then symptoms will have shown on whatever if a patient does show up here in Oklahoma. But like no shit, if the first time I even hear an inkling they might have an outbreak here, I'm gonna keep my daughter from school. I mean, one of the teachers could easily have a spouse that came from China or one of the other countries that has the infection. Very, I mean, I don't know these students or teachers' lives, so yeah, I'm going to keep my daughter out of that for a bit if it comes here. They can be mad about it. They can fucking bring a truancy officer to my door. I'll be like, I'm not going to risk her getting sick. Sorry, kiss my ass. I'll teach her at home. I don't give a fuck. You two will just have to wait. Like, I don't stream that much anyway. I can do it. During the communist revolution, you could not practice. Okay, that sort of makes sense because they were like extra commie. I mean, they're still kind of commie, but I think they have a little more. I think they've like kind of smoothed their commie over a little bit. Although right now, I think it's in full swing. Or it gets, yeah. Well, I mean, it technically is in America, I think, because I think it's in Washington State. But yeah, if I hear it like in any of the states coming toward the middle of the country, like the U.S., even though we do have an international airport here, although I think most major cities do. But yeah, actually, I don't know. I mean, once I hear about it, I won't let her go to school. But I'm sitting here thinking that by the time we hear about it, it may be too late. Like, 'cause it would have had at least a week to before the person showed symptoms. So who knows who they came in contact with before that they started being sick. Texas is right below me. I think my daughter is allowed approximately 8 or 10 sick days. I am thinking. That's it. She's not going to school. Texas is right below me. If I said it came toward the middle of the country, I wasn't letting her go to school. So, yeah, fuck that. Taiwan is where you'll find more traditional cultures until recently. Hong Kong. Oh, okay. That is good. Now I'm trying to change the thought tracks here. But yeah, this has got my fucking attention. I mean, don't get me wrong. I cared about it before that, but now it's like I extra care. Because holy shit. Like the border of Texas, where I am, is like 2 hours, maybe less. That's driving in a car. We're not even counting airplanes. Holy fuck. Or train, because we actually do have a train that an Amtrak here. I don't know where all it goes. I've never ridden it. Yeah, if it's in Texas, I'm not letting my. Do you have a link? I mean, I do believe you, but I'm curious what town it is or city. Although that person could have easily, it could easily already be spread all over Texas. It may even be here. I mean, we do have truck drivers. They go to different states and then come back here or whatever. So it could already be just lurking in the city and it's not even showing yet. Fuck that. That's what I tell. My daughter should be home now. 5, so she's most likely in the front room. Right? Yeah, she's at the neighbor's house. That's right. Yeah, they've canceled it. From what I was told or what I read, China has canceled New Year's celebrations. It doesn't mean the people. Brazo County. Let me go figure out the. Actually, my phone would be faster. You're thinking a lot. Potentially millions will die. That's worth thinking about. Absolutely. Oh, my friend messaged me. I'm told that there is a case that has shown up in Texas of the virus. That's too close for my liking. I think I'm going to keep BB out of school for a couple of days. Possibly longer. I just don't want him to worry. My friend. I've known him since I was 19. Poor bastard. You're, he gave me little hard eyes. Yes, I am thinking a lot. That's not going to help. Actually, cold weather will actually slow down germs to germs and viruses to some degree. Warm weather will actually encourage it to flourish. It will help in cases of where it's cold outside, so nobody goes outside, so everybody's kind of huddled in the house in close proximity. The warm weather will reduce that. People will be more likely to go outside, get fresh air, and move around, but they also more likely to interact with other people and hang out in close proximity outdoors. So you still kind of get rid of one problem, you might run into another. So, yeah. You're so cute. Oh, okay. In my browser. What am I doing? Wrong button. Wrong button. Sorry. I don't know how to phone. Apparently. Brazo County is trendy in the news. Fuck. Okay, it's not really. Let me see the map. Oh, it's near Austin, in Killeen, Texas. Well, it's close to those than technically here. It's the only. So how Austin's way far down. I mean, it's still closer than I want. So. Okay, so it's in a place called near College Station. Austin, I think, it's got a decent population. So. Yes. Ooh. And it's not far from I-35, which comes right up the middle of Oklahoma City. So if somebody infected got on the highway and just shot straight up, they could easily infect God knows who on the way. Shit. But I'm not panicking. You're panicking. I'm not panicking. I'm panicking. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah, vitamin D, iodine drops. Where do I get that? Where do I get iodine drops at? Not gonna lie. Is that like the same kind of iodine where they like that gold colored stuff they rub on your skin before surgery? Or is it like a different kind of iodine? Like, I'm not trying to sound stupid. I mean, I don't know, and maybe people in the audience don't know. So, like, that would be important. Or even like iodine you find in salt. Like, I don't know. Scott is in Austin. Fair enough. Yeah, and Austin has I-35, which cuts all the way up right up through Oklahoma and all the way up into like Kansas or some shit. So if someone stopped off at different truck stops along the way, that could spread all over. The I-35 is like 3 miles down the street from me. So if someone just shot straight up that highway, stop you along the way, fuck. Different iodine. Thank you. Okay. Where would one where would one find iodine that you think is a good idea to take to help our immune system? Because I mean, it couldn't hurt. I mean, if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. If the disease doesn't come here, it doesn't hurt to have a little boost anyway. Get 2,000 units or higher. Okay. There's like I call it the hippie store, but it's got like shitloads of oils, vitamins, all kinds of shit. They would probably have that. They charge like they're the only people in town. Health food store. Okay, yeah, there's one like 5 miles away, 6 miles. It's not far. I do have a few bucks for me. I could probably go pick that up. What does iodine do? If you don't mind me asking, like what? Oh, your phone died. I thought you were just being kind of quiet, but we're glad to have you back. Yeah, there's a couple people suggesting that we get vitamin D3 and iodine. Sorry, my nose is acting a little stuffy. And apparently it's not the reddish colored iodine that you like rub on your skin before surgery, which I wasn't sure on. Like, it seemed kind of odd to drink something like that, so I didn't necessarily think it was, but I wasn't sure. It's hard to like know everything, and I'm far from it. Apparently, there is reports that this coronavirus is in Texas near Austin, which is not far from I-35. And I-35 goes from there all the way up through Oklahoma City, and one of the on-ramps for I-35 here in Oklahoma City is about 3 miles down. Yeah? I don't think I'm going to let you go to school for a couple of days.
Wait, what? You in school?
There's a chance that there's a disease that outbroke in China, and it might be in Texas. It's like a really it's near I-35 in Texas, and I-35 comes up right past our house, all the way up. If someone gets out of a truck and goes to the bathroom or anything, they can infect God knows who.
I'm not allowed to miss anything. And can I play Fortnite?
Maybe in a minute. I'm kind of live streaming, so kind of rather you didn't play Fortnite right this minute. Don't be sad. Hey, you may not have to go to school. Can you just take joy in that?
Yeah, none of teachers and all the teachers can do that.
Well, they can be fucking mad because I'd rather have the teachers mad than my daughter get sick with some nasty version of pneumonia, almost said ammonia, pneumonia, and possibly die. Although you're strong enough, you probably wouldn't, but I can't guarantee it. I don't want my daughter taken and put in quarantine, or us, because one of the teachers might have someone who came back from overseas. Who knows? Or came back from Texas, which is quite likely. Because people come back and forth between Oklahoma and Texas all the time. Don't be sad. Don't worry. I will print out schoolwork for you to do if it makes you feel any better. But it takes like a week to show symptoms. So people at the school could be sick and nobody even know yet. And I really don't want you to die. Well, be careful. At least it wasn't breakable. Never thought my daughter would try to argue about her not going to school. She was like, wait, no school? Wait, what? And I was like, yeah, outbreak in Texas. I'm probably not going to talk because my nose is stuffy. Probably doesn't help that like I developed like mucus and whatnot along the respiratory tract because I've been smoking for 25 years. I9 does two things. They relate to your thyroid and metabolic process. Okay, right on. Oh, hello, Custom Wheels. Usually I don't say anybody's full name because that's very long. But public school is not important, trust me. Right, it basically just keeps a truant officer off your ass. I'm half tempted to carefully go to like her doctor and ask them if it's okay for her to have like kind of like a preventative type of doctor's note where I'm like, I would like my daughter not to get sick or die, so I'd like her to be in school for a few days and explain that like there's like some people sick in Texas and I don't want to necessarily chance it. Hopefully they'll hopefully they'll write a note and understand. If they don't, then they don't. But I can at least ask them. Well, kind of. Like, I think she's worried that she's going to be bored here. I'd be like, I'll print you out some schoolwork. And she's like, no, that's okay. But yeah, I feel like I'm going to want to walk around with those medical masks on my face. I think it, like, for the most part, it would be kind of helpful, but it's more like a sense of security, make you feel better. Because if, like, somebody actually is infected and they cough on you, that mask is not going to really do you any good. I mean, if it's just kind of wafting around in the air, it might help. But yeah, if it's in Texas, I think my daughter doesn't need to go to school for at least a few days. I mean, of course, I don't know. It's kind of tricky because I don't necessarily want to have any hassle because I didn't have her in school. But I don't want to like keep her out of school for a couple of days, let her go back, and that's the time it finally gets there to the school and infects. That would piss me off. I mean, she's strong, she's healthy, so if she did get sick, she would probably fight it off. But it's possible that she may have friends there. Yeah. I wonder if maybe I can. Yeah, she stays home and I go to school and pick up her schoolwork. I'm a, I'm germophobic enough. I could probably figure out at least some kind of decontamination protocol, like spray the paper with like peroxide and let it sit out for a little while or something. Make sure there's nothing nasty on it. Then let her have her schoolwork in school. Maybe they won't hassle her so bad. AFK. You're probably not the only parent taking this action. Maybe in Texas, but I don't know if people know. I hate to say this, but Oklahoma doesn't have the highest IQ. I'm not saying they're all dumb. A lot of them aren't, but a lot are smart in their own way. And a lot of times people don't necessarily pay attention as close to the news as they should. So, and a lot of times people don't realize, even though Austin is probably like 400 miles away, 400 miles is not that far if you shoot straight up a highway. And with interstate travel, in a day or two, it could be here if it's not already. People think, well, it's in another state. Like she did. She goes, well, that's in Texas, Mom. I'm like, you don't realize where Texas is? It's right fucking there. Pretty much. If you're taking a plane or a vehicle straight up the highway, you can infect God knows how many people at truck stops, and they'll spread out from there. Oh my God. Shit. A friend of mine's actually a truck driver. I should probably call him and let him know. Oop, shit jumped on me. AFK. I don't know what that is. Gloves. Yeah. I actually do have medical gloves and at least one of those like medical face masks. I carry it in my purse. You just never know when you're going to need it. I know that seems really strange. I'm just glad no cop has ever looked at my purse and like, are you planning on committing a crime? I'm like, no. Just like, be ready. Yeah, my friend is a truck driver. I am going to let him know. Well, my friend's a little too prudish for that behavior, thankfully. But it doesn't mean that someone else doing that kind of thing won't come close to him and have to infect him. Array from people. Oh, okay. Thank you. I did not know. This is so not a laughing matter, but that was fucked up. Like, not gonna lie. Not every truck driver is a pervert. But anyway. Yeah, I think I pretty much started this to see what y'all thought of what I found, see what theories y'all had, and it turned into oh shit, it's in Texas. Oh crap. So yeah, now it's gonna end with me not letting my daughter go to school for a few days and see what happens. I mean, I try to teach her ways to not catch anyone else's nasty stuff anyway. Like, I've explained to her the importance of not sharing your drinks with your friends because even if they're not showing any signs, you can catch strep throat. The importance of like when I go to the bathroom, I wash my hands. I use paper, like especially at public bathrooms, because I'll use that paper towel to open the door, use my foot to hold the door, and then throw the paper towel in the trash, so I don't have to actually touch the door handle. I'm a retentive asshole. So I've tried to teach her things like that to try to minimize catching any disease someone might have. And so hopefully, like, if she does have to go to school, she'll be careful and not share drinks with people, not hug people. You know, keep your face away from other people's germs and stuff. Steel Panther. Never heard of that. So, yeah. And I wanted to sit down and talk with everybody, and now I'm trying to hide my panic. If you drive along I-75, you will see billboards for massage parlors and strip clubs. You know, any other time I would have found that funny, and now I'm picturing what an absolute outbreak that could become. Because I don't know if people are as retentive about germs as I am, so, like, do they even wipe the bedding down or whatever after, or the massage table's the table. Massage table, and, like, they don't, the person's going to have the virus on that, and the next person's going to get on there and get sick. Oh, God. Thank you. Huh. 2,000? Wow. That's a lot. Like, I would expect her to, like, come home with me and clean my house for, like, a week. Fucking, or more. Like, that's a lot. I'm not sure going to a den of iniquity is necessarily a good idea when you're, like, full-fledged drunk. That's probably not a good choice. But, yikes. Yeah, that's a lot of money. I wonder how much of it they get to keep. Like, I'm not trying to be weird. I'm just, like, curious for my own curiosity. Because I assume they have to pay some kind of overhead fee or something for room and board or whatever. I would imagine. I wonder if they sometimes live there or not. Makes you wonder. Laughing hooker space or escort spaces, that actually sounds a little nice if they are people. Laughing in escort space is probably not the best, like, social interaction, but I don't know. I assume they have a website. They would have the prices so you could, like, check it out before showing up. I don't know. They might have a menu. I don't know. If it's legal there, I don't see why they wouldn't. I don't know. Might have to call a few people and tell them about this. I have another friend of mine. He hasn't figured out exactly what, I can't remember exactly what it is he does. He works for like a computer or software company, and they go to and from China a lot. Like, the employees, not necessarily him. But he was actually supposed to go to China like a week ago. I forget why, but he didn't go, and it's a good thing because holy shit. But I think he does like software and like maybe data analysis or something. Like, I can't remember exactly what he does, but like I think it's Hitachi that he works at. I think something like that. I met a hooker at a bar. She only wanted 100, and I told her, nah, plenty of women around here. You don't need to pay for one. Well, true, but sometimes if you wanted to skip all the bullshit of trying to woo a chick and buy her drinks and tell her whatever she wants to hear, when you both just want a one-time bit of fun, sometimes it's just quicker to do that way. I, I'm just saying, like, honestly, like, it's the world's oldest profession for a reason. What are these chicks look like a man? Who? Wait, there's. Oh, one of them looked like a man? Yikes. Everybody likes something different. Some women just look a little masculine, I don't know. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, it's like the world's oldest profession. In fact, in a few different, like, throughout history, different cultures that have actually been very useful to society. People were able to go release tension, so to speak, and they were actually calmer and it actually seemed to benefit society and help the economy and everything, including during the gold rush. Even if I weren't married, I could imagine pain. I don't know why people have such an aversion to it, to be honest. Under the right circumstances, it's pretty above board. You both go in knowing what's up. No one has to bullshit anybody. You don't need to have to, especially in a place like Vegas. I was in Vegas 5 days, got 4 pissed housewives. That's an option. Well, something for everybody, I say. I know, right? Yeah, we're talking about disease outbreaks, and it turned into talking about, like, escorts and stuff. Technically, I mean, there's a good chance she would have been with more people a day than necessarily your average barfly. This is true. But it only takes one that's sick to do it. And if she came in contact with somebody who's sick, they also take into consideration that the call girls, well, like if those particular establishments, oftentimes get tested once or so every week or so. And so if they show signs of any kind of illness, like, yeah. So, but they do have a higher chance of encountering somebody. So it's kind of a toss up. You can almost hear him laughing. But, yeah, like I said, this was quite a change in topic. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna let my daughter go to school tomorrow. I mean, on little shit, she can catch it like relatively easy, like strep. Although I don't know how many kids are often sick from it. She doesn't get it often, but she gets it every once in a while. And this is like way worse. But usually with like things like strep, you've had to have come in contact with it, like shared your drink with somebody or something. But I don't know who the hell she would have shared. Like last time she had like a sore throat, I don't know anybody who had any of those symptoms she did, and she didn't. So I'm like, did you drink after one of your friends at school? And she's like, no. And I'm like, nobody in the house had any of the symptoms she had. So I'm like, so I don't know if she's telling me the truth or not. I can only go by her word. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna, yeah. I'll see about going to the school myself because I'll be careful not to touch door handles and whatnot, and I'll get her schoolwork scooped up and bring it. Because I think I'll be a little more careful with coming in contact with certain things. Kids sometimes aren't as careful because they don't realize how dangerous something can be. Because when you hear about this stuff, it's always happening somewhere else or on TV in a movie. It's hard to take something like this as serious when you don't realize what's at stake and how easily, like society in general, it could be on the brink at any time of something like a pandemic. I think this is still considered somewhat like kind of an epidemic, but not like a full-fledged pandemic yet. But it doesn't mean that this isn't what's going to be. And we still don't know the people who are infected who haven't died. We don't even know how they're doing. Last I heard, they were critical, but that was like 2 days ago. We don't know if they're getting better or not. I haven't heard any of that. So they might be, they might not be. And so I would just rather my daughter not be in the crosshairs of that mess, quite frankly. If they want to be mad that she's not in school for a few days, they can just fucking live with it. My daughter's more important than they are. I mean, she's 12. I mean, how serious is the next few days going to be, really, in the grand scheme of things? What are they going to teach her the next few days that are that fucking necessary? Well, everyone, yeah. Pick up homework. Well, she still needs to learn stuff and have structure. I still want her to be able to have her doing her schoolwork and not just have her mind melting from watching play video games all the time. Although I actually do let her play quite a bit of video games because, for the most part, they're actually really good with hand-eye coordination, problem solving, strategy, things like that. I want her mind to work like that. So. Plus, there's I don't know much about Fortnite, so I'll try to convey the best I can for not really understanding it. But there's a part of the game called Battle Royale, and I think there's a competition coming up that I think is like a bigger Battle Royale where like some of the best players, like if you qualify, will come together and play each other. And my daughter's wanting to do that. I did hint that there are people twice her age that have been doing this longer. And so I just don't want her to be disappointed. I didn't tell her she couldn't compete. I read her a book by G. Edward. It sounds like the people who publish those school books, those Griffin books. But I don't recognize, if that's not it, then I don't recognize the name offhand. But just lost my train of thought. I do that a lot. I'm sorry. I don't remember what I was saying. Completely blank. My mind's a little distracted with this virus in Texas. Yeah. So what kind of? Well, Jesse told us that his son is going to be at his mother's to make sure that the kid doesn't get sick. Good move. Hopefully you'll be able to make up your time with him a little later on, switch out weekends or whatever. Gameplay. Oh, that's right. Thank you. Battle Royale. Thank you. I couldn't remember what I was talking about. Anyway. Oh, and are addicted. People get obsessed about the game. Yeah, there is a fine line between dedication and obsession, but like, she does pretty okay actually. I don't even really like video games, so I'm pretty unbiased in my view, I think. But yeah, there's gonna be like you win enough battle royales or something, you're like qualified to join a tournament, and she wants to do that. Apparently, it's a fair amount of money that's offered, even for like third or fourth place. I'm about to play Grand Theft Auto with my son. I'm not going to stream it though because it's his first time. That's understandable. We don't want him to be nervous or like be worried to mess up in front of people. I can understand that. But yeah, so my daughter, I told her there's probably people that have played for like longer than she's, well, twice her age, they've played for longer than she has. Because I don't want my daughter to, like, I want her going in to do it knowing there's a chance she might lose. I don't want her to be too disappointed. But if she wants to go for it, I just like, if you can go for it, if you qualify, go for it, If you make that money, that's great. If you don't, it's okay. So her expectations aren't too high. She's going to do the best she can. And the only thing she really asks is she doesn't want to be the first person to be disqualified or to be killed off out of the competition. That's really all she asks. She just doesn't want to be the first person eliminated. And I'm like, that's fair. I can understand that. Nobody wants to be that first person. I get that. Yeah. So if she played online with me before on broadcast. It usually was Friday the 13th, which she's got really good at. Right on. I'm trying to figure out how to say that. But hello, Manotoki. Oh, is that it? I am very bad at pronouncing things. I'm sorry. How are you doing? Nice to meet you. Yeah, we kind of came to the tail end of the conversation because we were talking about the virus that was in China, and apparently it's the next state over from me now. And I'm like, oh shit. So we went from chatting about the virus to the fact that I'm probably not going to let my daughter go to school tomorrow or the next day, or possibly even the next day. And we've now migrated into talking about video games because, yeah. But in fairness, though, I stayed on topic for like an hour. That's pretty good for me. That really is good for me because usually I'm like, yeah. I'm actually surprised I stay on course as long as I did. Oh, my legs. My legs don't do well if they're sitting in one place too long. I've got like old lady circulation or something. It's terrible. Anyway, so let me check real quick because I saw that Texas was trending. When Oklahoma trends, it's usually never a good thing, to be honest. What? Why are they talking about a doomsday clock? I thought that was like for nuclear shit. The doomsday clock is now set at 100 seconds to midnight. On Thursday, the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists unveiled that the clock, a metaphor for humankind's proximity to global catastrophe, fucking shit, is now set at 100 seconds to midnight. The clock has been setting at 2 minutes to midnight since 2018. Shit on a shingle. Well, that's enough internet for me. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Wuhan. Yeah, okay. I thought I was pronouncing it right, but I wasn't sure. Texas school suspends student and intends to. Oh, okay. I've been smoking for 25 years. I'm okay. Oh my God, they're going to suspend a student and stop him from going to his graduation because of his dreadlocks? What has happened to this planet? Really? Anyway, well, I think the world's going to shit already. That escalated quickly. Anyway, I guess my best suggestion is to make sure you wash your hands properly. Try to limit how much like close interaction you have with a bunch of people. Yeah, a good way to prevent panic. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Everybody's come to watch me die in real time. Awesome. I'm kidding. I would be surprised and somewhat annoyed if I actually had it. Like, I don't go out and interact and get close to people, so I'd be like, what the fuck? And me, like, if I even get like a little respiratory issue, I'll have that cough for like fucking 2-3 weeks. Like, I have a hard time freaking getting rid of the cough. It likes to linger because my lungs are kind of shitty. So it would be probably extra bad if I fucking coughed that pneumonia. But I'd have to quarantine myself. I'd do it, but because there's no sense in that's not. But yeah, I mean, if I got sick, whatever had happened was going to happen either way. So I might as well at least quarantine myself if it happened, and at least I'd be able to come on here and kept company with y'all. So, grr to you too, Cronus. Anyways, so yeah, so the doomsday clock is 100 seconds away from midnight. So apparently, yeah, global catastrophe. I really actually thought that was only for nuclear shit. I didn't realize that was for like, you know, destruction of mankind in general. My bad. I didn't know. I just always heard when they're talking about nuclear shit. Always heard about that clock. I didn't know it was connected to anything else. Hugs to you too. What are you having for dinner? But yeah. So for those who are just showing up, apparently there has been a case or two found in Texas of the coronavirus. And for those who don't know, I live in Oklahoma. I am one state north of Texas. That's way too close for me because, like, yeah, the highway that's near Austin comes right up past here. I don't like that. That's highly concerning. Oh, okay. I guess you're going to a restaurant. Okay, fair enough. Oh, I think he's trying to say he he. I was trying to see what the R was in conjunction to the E key. I hit the key wrong a lot, so. Hello. Ah, you just came back. Well, apparently, in case, I don't know when you left. So apparently, the virus has been found in Texas, which is right above me or right below me. So that's pretty concerning. And apparently, there's a doomsday clock that's been moved up to 100 seconds before midnight. So that's not good. Fair enough. So, at least it's not Captain Trips to understand. That certainly makes sense of what Fedorable had said earlier. Aw. Try to stay healthy. Oh, right on. I hope everything goes well with that. I hope y'all have fun. Anyway, so, oh, yeah. I was talking about that if it got too close to Oklahoma, I was going to keep my daughter from going to school, and apparently it's in Texas. That's too close for my liking. I was already concerned about this virus and a little bit about it. In fact, now not only is it stateside, it's about 4 hours. It's potentially 4 hours away from me. That's too close for my liking. I'm telling you. Do I get to do sound for a rum fest? Oh, I get. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm a little dyslexic. I see things wrong, so I don't like reading out loud. Makes it more obvious. That sounds fun. So yeah, crap. I was hoping this would be a nice informative chat and talking about it, and now I'm like all like, you know, I think we all picture like some apocalyptic shit happen. We always picture it being like a zombie outbreak. Not that that's really any better. It's really not, but I don't know. I think we've fonded that idea because at least zombies are something you can see and you can fight. How do you try to? I mean, it's hard to try to fight something you can't even see. So, kind of depressing. I think we just prefer that because it's easier to imagine us fighting something that's big enough to see, you can evade. Germs and viruses are hard to evade because you don't know what's infected and what isn't. You're doing better than I did when I forgot my coffee. I didn't forget my coffee. It's like 90% of my like sustenance is fucking coffee. I'm sorry I can't stay. DM me more if you need any more info. I promise to mod another stream. Oh, that's cool. I totally understand. But hey, thank you. And thank you for talking to me last night about some of this. And I hope you feel better. Lots of hugs. He's cool. I found him because I was like, hey, does anybody in this chat understand like viruses and epidemiology? Like, I think that's like the study of how viruses move and do what they do. It's like behavioral science for viruses, basically. I think the gist of it. I've like half-ass studied this shit for like 10 years. So like, and since different viruses behave differently, it's hard to know every single virus and what it does. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So that's why I kind of understand some of the stuff I read, and some of it I was like, how do I pronounce this? You know? But But y'all have been awesome, and yeah, I was kind of nervous to like talk about this because I didn't want to sound like I was trying to cause panic because I'm really not. And like, well, people usually YouTubers talk about games and movies, and I wasn't sure anybody was going to be interested in something like this. I mean, probably interested enough to read the news, but not actually like have a live stream about it. You know what I mean? Because people want to come to YouTube to be entertained, and I don't know. This is not the kind of entertainment usually people expect to find. But I figured this was something important to talk about because there could be a lot of people that are going to die. I think that's worth talking about. Not the happy, carefree, fun stuff you usually see on YouTube, but I don't know. I figured it was important. I figured maybe it was important to other people too. I mean, head cold here. I think it's not a stomach flu. Oof. Man, I'd take a head cold over a stomach bug any day. Golly. I want to lose weight, but not like that. That's too much too fast, you know? Well, I hope you get better soon, Carlos. Oh, that's a little stuffy. Probably fine. And part of it, right, is the fact that the virus has like a week or so of gestation, where you could go a week or so, be around people and not even realize you're carrying it, you know? Eat canned food and battle down the hatches. You will be cool. Well, I can't necessarily, well, I mean, I can, but I mean, I got a roommate that like works at a gas station and like, you know, like, well, my daughter's not going to be points too much, but I actually am not a huge fan of tea, even though I live in the South. One of my issues is like because like well they take the tea and they dry it, so it takes the water out, which means like the sugar and anything that's in the plant will be concentrated and stronger. Oh, I don't have money. I don't even. Well, I do have enough money to get a pack of cigarettes today, so all right. But like I don't have a lot of money, so I have enough money to put like a tank of gas in my car. I can't go to Canada from Oklahoma. I don't have that kind of money. And besides, there's a case of it in Washington State, which is right near the border of Canada. So I don't know if running necessarily is going to help. I mean, it seems to be popping up in all kinds of different places. Eventually, a person's going to run out of places to run. I'm going to try to keep her out of school for a bit. I don't know how long I can do that. That'd cause you a problem. But, I mean, I guess as long as she's, I'm getting her schoolwork and bringing it to her and taking it back to them, then she's staying current. And hopefully they won't get too much trouble. Hopefully. Back, had to check on a client. Okay. Excuse me. It would be nice if I could just like pack up and go somewhere for a while with my kid and everyone. Cause I don't want to leave anybody behind, you know. But no, kind of stuff here by obligation and other stuff. My parents died in this house. I suppose if I'm going to, I'll be here too. Echinacea will help with respiratory issues. Oh yeah, my issue with tea. So like, theoretically, if say your tea has pesticides and stuff, or like if the soil is contaminated by any chance, if you dehydrate the tea, like it takes the water out, and whatever's in the tea is concentrated to some degree, like the ratio, and like I wash my vegetables, but I can't wash the tea, so like I'm kind of concerned that like I don't know if there's anything wrong with the plant before it might not be good to drink. I know that sounds weird. I mean, if there's any organic tea I can find, I'd probably drink it, but I've never been a fan of tea, to be honest. Yeah, I got a little bit of a stuffiness trying to start too. I have my nose itchy as all get out. Sorry, I know that was not very sexy. I apologize. But, well, uh, what? We gotta work on your sentence structure. I'm sorry. You gotta work on that a little bit. It's confusing. The thing is, there has been outbreaks of the same virus before. See, that's what I'm wondering or curious about. Can you show me a link where this has happened before? I'm not saying I don't believe you. I do. I just want it for my own, like, personal records, so to speak. But the World Health Organization had a conference last night I watched, and they were talking about how this virus is new, and they're working on mapping it very quickly and got it mapped out very fast, which is weird because I found evidence that they've had this virus for a while. So it's like, why are you talking about you've got it sequenced that fast? You should have had this done like 15 years ago. You know? So I do find that strange. So didn't realize there had been outbreaks before. They're acting like there's never been an outbreak before, and this is like so fucking new to them, or at least this particular type, because this is all supposed to be, as they say, generally host specific, which means it usually stays within the species. Like if dogs have them, it stays with the dogs. You know, the rats, it stays with the rats. But it seems to have jumped species. Host jumping? I don't remember what it's called exactly, but you know what I mean. No, this is a mutated version of the older ones. Well, if they think it came from an animal, this means what you're saying is true. And they're not sure if it came from a bat or I think they've blamed a snake as well. But if they're all a little bit different because, you know, they belong to a certain species, wouldn't they be able to look under the microscope and know that? Unless this mutated version can infect any of it. And if so, why are they not talking about, like, I mean, I don't want them to kill animals, but if the animals were possibly carrying it, wouldn't it make sense that they were going up and gathering stray animals and shit and, like, testing them or, you know, God forbid, you know, killing them off in mass or something? Like, if you thought they were going from, like, animals were spreading it, but nobody seems really talking about it. It's kind of odd. In history, it did happen before, depending on what they called it. That's possible. I feel stupid for saying this, but I didn't know there were 14 symptoms of the common cold. I think it was just a cough, a little itchy nose, maybe a little fever. See, that's another thing that I've always kind of wondered about. Every year the flu comes around, they talk about it being A or B, like flu A or flu strand A or strand B, and they're like, oh, we don't know which one it is this year, but like each year, like somebody has either they have A or B, like at like I can't figure out how to say this. I knew one person last year that had B and another person that had A. They had different strands of the flu, but we don't even know anyone that came in contact with two kids, which is interesting. So it seems like both strands are out each year, and it doesn't. If it's mutating constantly, why is there not C, D, E, F, G of flu? They just seem to bounce between A and B, and that's it. That's not much of a fucking mutation at all. It just sounds like two solid strands that circulate. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of weird. Like, if it's only A or B every year, they should have this down pat. Like, I don't know. I just always thought that was kind of odd, personally. Right, yeah. I've actually heard that laughing does help. Keeps the right happy chemicals going. Because depression weakens your immune system, so I assume the opposite would be beneficial. But, yeah. I always thought that was strange, though. Like, every year, like, oh, you know, it's A or B. Like, it doesn't seem to be mutating a hell of a lot. It's either A or B. It ain't hard. You got a 50-50 shot of getting it fucking right. Different flu every year. It's forever changed. Well, yeah, so how do we just seem to always have A or B? It's not A, B, C, D, E, F, so on. Like, that's what I don't get. If it's constantly mutating, it can't just be bouncing between A and B and that's it. That's not much of a fucking mutation. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird. This is something I've always wondered about. But I'm not around doctors much, and when I am, I don't think to ask. You know? You need to catch them. Well, some people. I mean, some people don't have very good immune systems, or they're elderly or small, and like avoiding it altogether is usually pretty good. You can do it. Ah, and the majority of the ones that have died from this thing all around had pre-existing health conditions. That would make sense, but I am curious if you have an article linked to that, because I mean I don't know the medical history of the people who died, so I don't know. It would make sense that if they have health conditions, they would be more susceptible to the disease than like someone younger and healthier. Obviously, I mean that makes sense, but I'm not sure that the older babies. Yeah, yes, like obviously they're always the first to succumb to something that comes around. I mean, they're not really saying like the ages of the people who died. They haven't mentioned it. Oh, they're all over 40 in health conditions. Does anyone have a link to that article? I mean, I do believe you. I just, like I said, I kind of want it for like a point of reference. If I discuss it, check Twitter. Did you DM me? Fair enough. All right. Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't doubt you. It's just like I said, it's good to have like an article or some kind of point of reference to read. Keep records of such things and all that. Yes, immune deficiency can definitely cause a problem for any age. Yeah. Well, if it's only seems to be targeting people over 40 with health conditions, it doesn't sound like something that was unleashed to stifle protests, because it's probably not people over 40 with health conditions that are out there protesting, most likely. Most likely it's people under 40 with less health issues. So it doesn't seem like it was done for that political reason, if it was done on purpose. So I guess another theory, if anybody wants to stay on that particular track that was brought up, is that it could just simply be something to, as Ambient Vibes is mentioning, basically, yeah, is basically, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to think of something that doesn't sound horrible and all eugenicsy. But basically, that might be considered a medical burden. I hate to say it that way. I feel like such an asshole, even though I don't, like, I'm not actually trying to kill people. But I'm trying to think of a way that it doesn't sound bad when I say it. But I guess there's no good way to actually mention that. But yeah, it could be, because a lot of insurance companies and whatnot, they don't take care of, well, yeah, kind of. But in China, from what I understand, you're actually expected to take care of your sick and your elderly and your family. So if this virus eliminates that, that to some degree frees younger people who would actually cause political upset to be more available, basically, because they have nobody at home to take care of. So they would be more free to cause rioting and rebelling. Yeah, well, I have seen those. I think it's like 500,000 people or something like that that is suggested to have to repopulate, and everybody else has to go. Is what I think those stones hint at. So I've seen pictures, but pictures can be altered. I've never actually seen the stones in person, but I have heard of it, and I've, I guess, heard people who said they've seen it. But again, okay, I knew it was 500 something. I just couldn't remember quite what. Yeah, that still seems like a lot of people, but I guess it's really not. Compared to, like, I don't know what the Earth's population is. Why are you getting banned? Oh, I'll be right back. I have some girl business to attend to. No, I guess it's not just girl, but ow, fucking fan. about that. I am back. Alright, I'm getting banned. Wait, you said 500. Now it's 7? I'm confused. Oh, she didn't read my comment from last. Must have missed it. Sorry. Hey, Deranged, how are you? Oh crap, I'm over 40, son of a bitch. Well, I'm almost 40 and I don't have great lungs, so probably boned as well. Man, I don't know. But y'all are saying there's a possibility this could be used as a population solution. Oh, 500 million. Oh, and the Earth is 7 billion. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Okay, I was a little. Ooh, that would be quite a hell of a cut there. Yikes. But well, if this was done on purpose, seems like something that would target the sick and elderly seems kind of dumb. I would imagine that it would be easier to control people if they're staying home and taking care of sick family members and stuff. I mean, a lot of times people actually stay out of trouble because they have families that will worry about them if anything happens. If you take that away, you're left with people who are healthier, better conditioned, with less to lose. I personally think that would be a bad idea if I was trying to control people. Oh, you are nice sounding. So, right on. I always try to take pride in being a fantastic asshole. Around 15 to 20% of hospital cases are severe, and the current death rate stands at about 2%. Yeah, that's not super high, but it's still unfortunate. I think it's less than 2%, or at least 2%, or is it 2% of the people who've been infected have died? Is that what you're saying? So 2% of the population is still fucking high. Like, that's a pretty high death rate. I'm lazy. This is my banning moment. Oh dear. Don't get banned. No, don't do that. Yeah, if it's just 2% of the severe case, oh yeah, it's still 2% is still a lot when it's your family member that's sick and dying. So I'm not trying to be insensitive, but 2% of severe cases doesn't sound quite as scary as you're trying to make stuff sound. Right. So the recovery rate for this disease may not actually be quite as bad as trying to make it sound on TV. Because it sounds like they're trying to make it not sound like a big deal, which usually makes me think it's a big deal. I don't know. But, I mean, this could be just a small, like someone suggested earlier, that it could be like a test to see how it works in civilian population, how it circulates. And if, they already have medicine for it, they'll make money in the process. Except that I don't believe you really get a whole lot of hospital bills in China. But technically, I don't know. Like, if someone did decide to do that, like, I wonder who would have greenlighted that particular project? I mean, the Chinese government technically could. They don't usually have a high regard for their citizens' personal rights. There we go. That's the sentence that was trying to come out. But our government isn't necessarily known for it either, to be fair. So, if they did get it from us, like, I wonder who approached who first. Like, hey, let's test this out. Hey, do you mind if we go test this on some people? Like, how do you even start a conversation like that? Fuck. Or what? I'm not great at math. Yeah, I don't math. Like, no. Main party news had admitted the numbers are much higher than stated by. Ooh. Oh, shit. And like I said earlier, I heard somewhere that they're trying to silence people who are blaming the Americans or America, not necessarily Americans. Like I didn't fucking do anything. They're trying to blame America for the disease outbreak, and it's not necessarily impossible because apparently we do have a whole bunch of that virus or different versions of the virus on our property, basically. So beta test. They always beta test. The bomb was a test to see if it would burn off our atmosphere later. That seems like something I wouldn't want to test. Hey, let's see if this destroys the ozone layer. Doesn't seem like a smart thing to do. Does NyQuil have No, I don't believe that it does. I think the chemical structure for meth is probably a little different. I wouldn't doubt it. Bill Gates created it. I'd say he probably funded it. I don't think he's actually. I think he builds computers. I don't think he builds viruses. But they do give shitloads of money to all kinds of medical causes of one kind or another. So he might have funded it. Well, I mean, we do have the population in general. I mean, you're bound to run into psychopaths and potential serial killers and all kinds of shit in our lives. So you can't necessarily rule out that somebody with a shitload of money and power would try something really out of pocket. I mean, the rich are not immune to psychopathic behaviors or anything. It's not just a poor people thing. So it's possible somebody with pull could have done something insane. That's quite possible, I guess. It's just scary to depressing to think of that because we'll never actually be told the truth if this isn't just like an accidental occurrence. And like I said, it is possible this was done by accident, but it wasn't done very well. It seems kind of like a sloppy mess done if it was done on purpose. Experimenting with things you don't know. Yeah, a lot of super rich people are kind of eugenicsy. Like even though they're not like full fledged eugenics ish. I don't know if that's a word, but you know what I mean. You prone to eugenics, I guess that sounds like an act more accurate. But yeah, I only saw one clip, but I mean technically you only have to say it once for everybody to hear about it. But yeah, yeah, something about dropping the population by 10%. That's a fucking lot, considering how high the population is. That's a ridiculously high amount. Holy shit. Hey, Hanstar. Mwah. Thank you for visiting. Yeah, the doomsday clock thing, yeah.
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that.
That's gotta go. I did not say the keyword that should have set that off. He likes to do that shit when I'm in here by myself. Hate that thing. Hate it. You gotta go. Saying. Anyway, yeah. Wow, indeed, Thomas. Yeah. I hate that little fucking talking box. And like when it does go off and says that, that's all I ever hear it say. But I'll be sitting there quietly minding my business, doing this, or playing on my phone, and it'll fucking just say that. I'm like, who the fuck talked to you? Nobody did. 0 people said anything to you. Fucking mouthy bitch. One of those, I don't want to say the magic G word, those search engine boxes where you go, hey, search engine word, how do you make pancakes? One of them fuckers. It'll like randomly talk to me. I won't even address the silly box, and it'll fucking just say random shit. And I'm just like, yeah, most likely. Those are like an elite group of assholes. Fuck them. I mean, they've brought drugs into the United States, into poor neighborhoods, and probably killed Kennedy. They're kind of assholes. They're like a long-standing group of assholes. And even worse, they're highly trained assholes, which makes it even worse. Mine one night ran with it. Don't worry, I'll be. No, fuck that. That thing's gotta go. I'm gonna have to give that to somebody or something. Like, I don't want this fucking thing in my room anymore. I keep forgetting it's there because I don't use it. And like last couple of nights, it's like, oh, thinking this is like the third time it's done it in like a week. And I keep forgetting it's there until it does that, and I'm like, shit! I'm about to jump out of my fucking skin. Maximum overdrive shit over there trying. Like, if it had like extensions, it would probably kind of kill me in my sleep. Yeah, that's just off-putting. Well, I gotta admit, it's kind of working. Because here's the thing. They sometimes deal in empty threats. But also a lot of times, they're not empty threats. So, like, they've never really been known to hesitate killing somebody. Or more than one person. So that's the shit part of it. Like if I figured it was empty threats, like, I wouldn't give a shit. But knowing they'll actually kill a motherfucker, that's concerning. So if what you're saying is right, and the politicians are, so we don't fall into the line, they'll just break out a disease and, like, I mean, it's quite possible they didn't mean it to spread as much as it did. Hold on. I keep it because I want to force NASA to hear, or NSA to listen to, wow. Yeah, you know what? I don't really want him in my personal life. Not that I have a lot of personal life going on. Not balanced. Aww. Well, I'm going to kind of wrap it up, I think. Oh, shit. Yeah, because I'm going to be on someone's show in a little bit, actually. So, yeah. Good Lord, I've got a lot of notifications. Holy shit. My phone's really quiet, so it kind of snuck up on me. Lots of hugs. Excuse me. I'm not sure. I'm no expert. She wants to come to my house. I figure I could pick her up Friday. Keep her safe and sanitized if needed. Paranoid still. She's gonna go hang out with my friend's daughter for the weekend. Anyway, all right. So where are we at? All right. Yes. Have fun. People at politicians and government to solve problems. Solve problems they probably fucking made. The politicians really gave a shit about people. Like, we wouldn't have nearly as many homeless people, old people without the Social Security, da 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 da. But no, they don't actually give a shit. They pretend to give a shit. They throw you table scraps. Both parties were guilty of throwing you table scraps occasionally when it suits them. And continue to bone people over. That's what they do. Hugs to all. Yeah. Yeah, it starts about an hour. Well, half hour, I think, to get ready. So, yeah. All right. Well, and plus I've been on here for like 2 hours and 40 minutes. So. Oh, there seems to be like constant updates of stuff going on. So. Oh, no way, for real? Oh. Okay. Hold on. Someone's replying to a little tweet that I thought I deleted. Someone sent me a link. Who sent me a link? Come on. Oh. Oh, okay. All right. The World Health Organization says China's coronavirus outbreak is not a global emergency yet. Well, it certainly spread a bit more than I would have thought it was going to. Alright. Oh, okay. Alright, sorry, I had to get caught up in my inbox there. The pirate flag. Pirate's life for me. Anyway, so. Little hairball there. So, before we wrap this up, has anybody got anything they want to add about the virus? Other than the fact that Texas is trending in a bad way, and the news cock thing is trending. It's pretty fucking depressing. It's been an interesting day already. I've lit the thing like 5 fucking times, I swear. Constantly had to resuscitate this silly thing. Anyway, this has definitely been an interesting conversation with everybody. It's actually went over way better than I thought it was going to, truth be told. Like, I was kind of worried that, like, I don't know, someone kind of had me convinced I was going to be kind of nutty talking about this. And so, it kind of got to me, and so I was like, I kind of wanted to talk about it. It seems like it was well received, so that's pretty cool. Pretty much everybody who comes here is actually decently supportive. Like, they don't agree with what I'm saying. They just pretty much just, leave. They don't, like, give me any hassle, really. I actually thought that, I thought Ambient was going to give me trouble at first, and then I realized that perhaps we just got off on the wrong foot or something. But that went alright. But, alright. Let's see. Over here, the StreamYard shit is slow. Alright. Now it's only 5 people, and it's pretty quiet, so I guess we probably talked about all we can talk about at the moment, because I don't think there's anything new in what we've discussed. So, I will hop off, go rummage around for a snack or something, and get ready for the show on Chris Knight's channel, where I guess we spin a wheel, and it lands on a topic, and we discuss the topic. And I'm a little concerned because apparently Cobra Kai is going to be on the wheel, and I haven't watched any of it. So I'm not really prepared for that. You listen to all the people who chat with you. Well, yeah, I mean, just like, a few people, like, knew about this, knew about that. They knew some stuff I didn't know about. Like, I didn't know how long the gestation period was. I didn't know it was in fucking Texas. Now I do. So it's important to listen to your chat. That's why I never actually want my channel to get so big that I have like 60 or 70 people in my chat. Holy fuck. Like, well, God forbid, even more. Don't get me wrong, I'd welcome everybody to the channel. It's just the idea of so many people that, like, even the amount that comes in sometimes, I have a hard time keeping track of, like, are you talking to me or are you talking to them? So I might miss something. Even more people? Holy crap. I'd still welcome them. I wouldn't tell them to leave, but I would just do even worse job of keeping up than I do already. You listen to all this. Yeah, I do try to. I like the idea of exchanging information so everybody's on the same page, and, we need each other, really. People are going to hear news that I don't. I might hear news that they don't. It's important. Jesus was not having a go. Okay. But, well, to the 5 people who are watching, thank you so much. Love you all. And if you're not subscribed to Chris Knight, spelled with a K, go check him out around 7 p.m. Central Time and see what you think. Lots of hugs to everybody. Mwah.